Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Yara Alsiyat. I'm a PhD student at the University of Oxford and a senior security researcher at King Abdulaziz City for Science and Technology. Today, I will share our work on Smart Spaces, Private Life, a culturally grounded examination of privacy tension in smart home. On behalf of our team, Oliver, who's joining us today, Ning and Ivan. So, why this is matter? Basically, as the literature shows, smart home devices offer convenient, efficiency, and safety, but most are designed with Western privacy assumptions. In a culturally conservative societies, these assumptions can clash with religious and social norms, creating a tension at home and even leading to underuse or misuse of the technology. So, as one of our participants says, my husband doesn't want anyone to see me without my hijab and abaya, and I must dress when we go out. And the same goes with my pictures in the camera. And that's really captured our idea. So about how people could actually treat these devices, especially cameras. So to give a little bit of context about Saudi, so why Saudi Arabia? It's a collective society followed by gender norms and a religious influence where they follow Islamic teaching, guidance, and a household structure. So basically, it's a multi-generational living as a common, where parents, children, grandparents, even a domestic worker living under the same roof. A key concept to understand here is mahram and non-mahram. So basically, a mahram is your husband or a male relative that you cannot marry, like either your father or brother. And also a woman's body part must be covered in the presence of non-mahram men. So our research question, our guiding question is, to what extent do cultural perspectives shape device usage and privacy perception and conflict resolutions in smart home? We wanted to move beyond technical settings and explore how privacy negotiated in a daily life. So, to answer this, we followed a semi-structured interview where we conduct a constructive grounded theory, iterative interview, coding focus in Saudi and US participants. We start with 20 participants from Saudi and 20 participants from the US, following that with a deeper interviews with Saudi participants. We recruit them through WhatsApp, social media, referral, and diverse household rules, and from diverse household rules and regions. So we did the analysis through NVivo 14 Pro. We start with Open, Excel, selective coding. We did the diagram to create our concept. So the methodology, our participant demographic was wide. So we had diverse age, diverse education background, diverse employment, and also the IT background. We make sure that we interview people with no IT background as well as people with IT background to see the differences. Okay, after interviewing the participants from US and Saudi, we have a conceptual foundation. Insights came from our Open and Excel coding, which highlight a range of privacy tension influenced by cultural expectations. Also, we shows through the participants that there is some conflict resolution strategies that the participants follows to protect themselves. So based on these insights, we dive deep into interviewing more of the Saudi participants. So our theoretical integration, we divide it into 6 main themes, where so our finding shows that privacy in Saudi have a collective negotiated and that shaped by factors such as family hierarchy, interpersonal roles, and cultural obligations. One of the most interesting aspects that we found through our themes was the camera identity, where cameras in particular are perceived not merely as a tool, but also as a social present entity, leading to behavioral adoption and negotiated device usage. Also, one of the funny stories that happened through the interviews, well, people use cameras to protect themselves from strangers. We found that cameras reveal an inside stories where someone could steal money from someone or damage a car to get a financial benefit. You will find so much of interesting quotes in our paper. Okay. So now this is our grounded theory model where we did the culturally negotiated privacy management in Saudi smart home. The model shows how, for example, a camera identity reshape privacy norms within the context of cultural and religious influence, giving a rise to specific privacy concerns and promoting resolution strategies, while culture and religious values pervade each theme, shaping unacceptable sharing practices and modifying interpersonal dynamic, and ultimately structure how privacy managed in Saudi smart home. So, our grounded theory model contribute to the ongoing discussion of usable privacy and security by emphasizing the need for smart home devices that are not only technologically robust, but also socially inclusive and culturally grounded. So the core contribution of our paper was that there is a relational privacy where privacy negotiating among household members is shaped by trust, gender roles, and authority. Also a moral dimension where religious and cultural ethics shaped the visibility and accessibility, giving privacy spiritual weight. And the most important contribution was that the device is as a social actor. So smart cameras are perceived as a social presence, capable of violating norms simply just by existing. These findings call for a culturally responsive design approach that supports family-driven privacy strategies rather than viewing cultural values and constraints. We highlight their potential to inspire privacy-aware innovation. So to develop a culturally respectful smart home technologies, especially those using camera, we contend that affordableness must be thoroughly designed to mitigate acknowledged usable gaps from HCI. So the design opportunities that we offered basically is the guest mode where automatically disable cameras when guests are present. And this bridging the gulf of execution and the gulf of expectation to reduce the effort required to maintain privacy in social context, as well as the prayer mode, where poses data collection during prayer time, either via scheduled timing or signal recognition when the prayer is called. And this bridge the gulf of evaluation and expectations, which enhance clarity and trust in how and when device collected data, as well as the visitor notifications. So we alert the users and guests when entering monitor areas, and that's bridge the gulf of evaluation and the gulf of expectations, promotes informed context and situation awareness. So this study presents an iterative investigation that began with a broad cultural patterns and develop a grounded theory rooted in Saudi smart home. We offer a culturally grounded perspective on privacy tension by treating cultural not as a background, but as a lens that we go through which privacy is understood and enact. So to design a better smart home, we must move beyond universal solutions toward adaptive, culturally embedded design that reflect how people use them. Thank you, and I'm open to questions.